Und damit willkommen zurück zu The Great Attorney Resource 2 Chronicles. Wir sind hier stehen geblieben, muss man sagen. Und gehen weiter in die Fresno Street. Letzter Part. Geil, was wir da alles erfahren haben. Ich bin immer noch geplättet, I guess. 2. November, Room on Fresno Street. Wenn wir hier sonst noch irgendwas Nennenswertes zu tun. So wie es actually ist der Fall. So wie es aussieht nicht, dann können wir auch schon weitergehen. Also dementsprechend, ich klappe das alles so nach und nach ab. 2. November, St. Sinners Hospital, Ward 3 oder 3. Müssen wir hier irgendwas untersuchen? Patient Creeks Note. Vielleicht müssen wir hier einfach das was nennenswerterweise. Sagen wir es mal so wie es ist, weil das scheint aber auch nichts nennend. Weise zu sein. Let's see tendency to jump up from windows. Remember, all side. Also dementsprechend hier scheint dann aber auch nichts nennenswertes zu sein, würde ich behaupten. Also vielleicht triggert hier irgendwas. Es wird, deswegen klicke ich auch das Moneys an, muss man sagen. Auch die Gehhilfen hier, die Krücken, muss man mal sagen. Sagen wir das mal so wie es ist. Kann ja durchaus möglich sein, muss man sagen. Deswegen ich das jetzt auch nicht nennenswerterweise jetzt halt vorlesen werde, muss man sagen. Vielleicht ist das relevant, kann gut möglich sein, muss man sagen, aber nö. Sagen wir es mal so wie es ist. Sagen wir es mal so wie es ist, weil warum soll ich das jetzt auch vorlesen, wenn er will ich einfach jetzt mal bloß so mal, vielleicht triggert das hier irgendwas. Man weiß es ja immer nicht. Sagen wir das mal so wie es ist. Dementsprechend sagen wir das mal so wie es ist. Dann ist eigentlich das hier wieder, I guess, dementsprechend sagen wir das mal so wie es ist. Dementsprechend scheint ja auch wirklich dann nichts zu sein. Dann habe ich ein paar Minuten hier verschwendet, muss man sagen. Sagen wir das mal so wie es ist. Ich verschwende doch gerne mal ein bisschen Zeit. Man muss das so sagen. Dementsprechend okay, never mind. Die reden dann doch hier schon. Geil. Aber das kannst du halt im Vorfeld dann halt auch nicht nennenswerterweise wissen, muss man sagen. Im Spiel ist ja grundsätzlich immer alles zu tun, aber also ich dachte, dass da auch noch nennenswerterweise und was ist Prosecutors Officer? Dann 2. November Prosecutors Office. Ja, der Tatort hier nachgestellt, muss man sagen. So this is the office of the prosecutor Asogi, no, is it? Kazuma-sama is doing so well for himself. Even so, he is always forced to kneel on the familiar Japanese style in the dark corona. Immer diese Corona, ich say. It is habit to say Sicher style whenever he is working. Kazuma. I thought it wouldn't be long before you paid me a visit, Ryonosuke. I was right about what I said, wasn't it? Sorry. That you have all the makings of a great defense lawyer. Yeah. Well, I always believed that you'd fulfill your dream of advocating in the British courts. I just never imagined for 1 second that it would be as a prosecutor. Seeing you stand in a foreign courtroom, so gallantly realizing your dream, Kazuma-sama. I'm truly happy for you, and I'm truly thankful to you, Chronicles assistant Mikotova. Ryonosuke, I always thought it was fun for you and I to shake up the British legal system a little together. This isn't quite how I investigate it, but I suppose it's just another twist of fate. I've learned a lot of things during my time in London about how Susato-san's father himself is a visiting student here once along studied Shigoku, and about what happened with your father. Then you will have no difficulty understanding why I had no choice, why I had to find a way to get to Britain as a visiting student myself. Oh boy, I want to hear it from you, Kazuma, as you wish, Ryonosuke Naruhodo. Oh boy. Das wird mal wieder total geil gefühlt. Oh Mann, oh Mann. It's getting on for a year now. Signs have what happened on the SS Buria. We were heading across the ocean from Japan to Great Britain, when a bizarre series of coincidences led to those tragic evidence. Oh, as I thought I'd lost my best friend forever. I must have been unconscious for a long time. When I awoke, I was living on a bed. It was a narrow little room. There was a posy of flowers by the pillow. It took me a little while to realize that I was in the cabin of a ship. I slipped out of the room and headed up onto the deck. Are you already suffering from amnesia at that point? Yes, I didn't know what had happened or where I was. There was just this voice on my head. You have something you have to do, something no one else can know about. To Great Britain, your task awaits you there. It was calling, so could ignore it completely, me relentlessly. Out on deck, I saw that I was on a huge steamship and we were docked in a large port. It must have been Hong Kong. Yes, it must have been presumably just before they were due to carry your body off the ship. I had no idea of the situation, but I did have the feeling that this was in some way last chance. So I concluded myself among the despairing passenger and went ashore. I disappeared into the crowded streets of that foreign port city, so I could plan my own road journey to Great Britain. Oh boy, du willst das aber heute aufwissen gefühlt, muss man sagen. Just understand, a year ago, with all my past memories lost to me, I was left behind in Hong Kong. Everything was foreign to me. The signs, the sounds, the smells, my heat reeled. I was truly at a loose. I realized now that I'd escaped as a dead man, with nothing but the clothes on my back, no money of course. Oh boy, how terrifying for you. Luckily, thought I had two fathers in my cab, one being your knowledge of English, I suppose. That's right, and one at the back of that I was able to pick up some work as a deckhand in the cargo ship. Eventually, after calling a countless ports, I finally arrived at Dover. That must have been some 3 months ago now. Your formidable tenacity of purpose showing itself again. I mean, the man had lost his memory and had literally nothing to his name. But he still managed to make his way to London on the opposite side of the world. Of course, I had no idea why I'd moved heaven and earth to get here. That's the point. So how did you end up became Lord von Six Apparentizen? That can't only be called an extraordinary stroke of luck, really. You see, I was stopped at the border because I had no papers, sorry. They took me straight to Scotland Yard. And by sheer coincidence, Lord Strongheart was there to attend a meeting that when the second father in my cup came into play. Would that have been your knowledge of the law? Yes, exactly. Strongheart was curious about an Easterner. His intimate knowledge of British law. He took me back with him to the Supreme Court and assigned me to the prosecutor office. And then 9 days ago, you finally got your memory back after the trial involving Trapper. Yes, I did. Oh boy. Hey, das wird noch spaßig, muss man sagen. Wenn man das alles aufgeht und dann die richtige Bombe platzen lässt, wird das auf jeden Fall noch was Größeres, I guess. Würde ich zumindest behaupten. Ever since I first meet you at May you talk about your dream. Mark my words, I'll be chosen as a visiting student and make my way to Great Britain someday. Did you think entire time about what happened to your father her? Oh man. 16 years ago. When my father left on this exciting trip to Great Britain, I was just a boy. We took a photograph together the day before his departure. It's my last memory of him. But what I remember most about my father is his unswerving sense of justice. Six years after some gentleman called at your family home. He told me that Genshin, my father, had been taken ill in England and passed away. It was Professor Mikotova, your father Susato, son. Oh my. Ever since then, the professor was very good to me. He even helped to found my university education at Chumei. I'll be forever in his debt. But nevertheless, I just couldn't bring myself to believe what he'd told me. Oh. Then one day, a letter arrived at your house from Britain. There was no indications of the sender, so I opened it assuming it was from an adult acquaintances of my father. What I read in that letter changed my entire life. What did it say? It said that my father had been a mass murderer, and the writer cursed the Asogi name. Oh no. As a result of the letter, I found what had been hidden from me all these years. Letter from... Hey, der Junge, du willst aber heute wirklich wissen. Presumably, the letter was sent from a relative of one of the victims. Whoever it was had been a member of the judiciary, could have been present at the closed trial. The letter related that my father had been sentenced to death, executed for being a killer. I'm so sorry you had to find out that way. You mentioned the British government did its very best to silence whoever sent that letter, but someone who knew the truth and couldn't bear the resentment was always going to be a problem. But still, it could have been written by anyone. Why would you believe such a thing? There was a newspaper cutting included with the letter. It was the first I'd never heard of the professor and his terrible killing spree. Well, that did my father have to say about the letter. I couldn't bring myself to show it to him. What? Why not? Because he'd deliberately completed truth from me by telling me father was taken by the fatal illness that couldn't have been easy for him, and he'd done it out of consideration for my feelings. So instant I showed this letter to Judge Chigoku, to the other visiting student. He faltered for the briefest of moments, but then he just laughed the letter off. But in that moment I saw it on his face. He was undeniably shocked, shaken momentarily before recovering his poise. Yeah, a year later my prefect mother succumbed to the strait of grief, and she too passed away. That's when I made up my mind that one day without fail I would cross the seas to retain and seek the truth for myself. The truth about my father, Genshin Asogi. I won't let anyone stand in my way. Oh, Kazuma-sama. The Reaper's Trial, meine Güte, echt, ey. What we learned today in Kurt turned things completely on their feet. It was an impressive piece of lowering Ryonosuke Naruhodo. Not from 6 isn't the Reaper, you know. I almost don't want to believe it myself, but it turns out that Inspector Gregson himself, the victim, was. It's clear that the Inspector was behind the Reaper's activity all along, but what do you know? The real question is, who's being giving orders to the Inspector? Ja, das muss eine höher gestellte Person sein. Yes, Barack von Six is the real Reaper. Würde man das wirklich sagen? Muss nicht unbedingt immer Barack von Six sein, aber es sieht halt wirklich danach aus, muss man sagen. Aber ist leider nicht so der Fall. And I know that 10 years ago it was him who decided my father must be a mass murderer and sent him to his grave. No, he was merely seeing that justice was done as the law dictates. He's not to blame. Ultimately, it's people who condemn people. The law is just a tool that they use to do it. Oh boy. And when a man condemns another, he must take a responsibility for his action. Of course he must. But I know for certain that my father would never have taken another man's life. Kazuma. On the contrary, my father's life was taken by the Reaper. I mean... Ich weiß jetzt nicht so ganz, was ich davon halten soll. Klar, sagen wir es mal so, wie es ist. Denkt er jetzt natürlich, dass das so der Fall ist. Man kann es auch irgendwie verstehen, muss man sagen. Aber nennenswerterweise, man kann sich davon auch gut und gerne blenden lassen, muss man sagen, weil teilweise scheint es ja auch nicht so der Fall zu sein, da das halt wirklich der Fall ist, muss man sagen. 2. November, Great Waterloo Hotel Foyer. Sagen wir es mal so, wie es ist. Oh, I thought it's yesterday and I think it again today. This place is so principally It's a wild guess, but I have a feeling you'll think the same tomorrow too. My tea has a finger fragrance that whatever they're serving in the tea room here, so wouldn't you say? Ah, look who we have here. This is an unexpected pleasure. Ah, father. Oh, this is your daddy, Susie. How lovely. What a charming young lady, and you are... really? So you're the author of the Adventures of Sherlock Holmes, are you? That's me, Iris Wilson, at your service, sir. Susie's been such a wonderful friend to me over the last year, you know. Sicherlich, muss man sagen. Well, Miss Wilson, I must say I read your work regularly and with much interest. Iris actually lives with Mr. Shrams, you know, father. Is that so? Well, perhaps that goes the same way to explain that bright look in your eyes. Ja, was das sonst noch alles dabei herauskommen wird und was wir sonst noch so erfahren werden. Dies und vieles mehr erfahren wir im nächsten Part. Macht es bis dann gut und auf Wiedersehen, meine Lieben.